Hi everyone, I'm at the room at the moment, just in the kitchen, but I'm coming into the living room. I'm just setting up my gig bar Move. Had it a couple of years. Now originally I bought it because I intended to do weddings and receptions and provide the music, all the lights. But I thought, I ain't got no time to do any of that. You know, where do you find the time to do something like that? But just up there, on a tripod, there's a gig bar Move there. I'd have to adjust the camera for you to see it proper. But you can see that at the back of me, I've got my lava lamp, and that's a giant lava lamp. That is a big one, I tell you. Huge, that is. Very, very big one. I mean, it's almost about a metre. Not quite a metre, about 800. So, just having a bit of fun today. I'm just waiting for a delivery for my YOLO Box Extreme to arrive tomorrow. And I'm just getting some final use out of my Ultra, my YOLO Box Ultra. So I'm doing a bit of fun things tonight. For instance, overhead camera, I've decided to use the Bird Dog Mackie for that, because I've got an adjustable remote control for it, so I can zoom in and out, which is very handy. That camera there, as you know, that's the S7, that's the YOLO cam, and they're excellent. That camera is the Lumix 511. But what I've done here, I've had a bit of fun with this. I've done a picture-in-picture and dropped me inside there and put my name at the bottom, which will time out after about 10 seconds. Let's just see if it times out, because that's what I've programmed it to. But it's important to have a bit of fun with activism. If you don't have any fun with it, you'll find yourself getting stressed out. It'll all get too much for you. That's why I've always, since I started posting on YouTube and looking at other people's videos, I decided that I would have fun along the way. And I'm hope that, you know, you guys can see that that's the kind of person I am. You know, I don't take things ultra serious all the time. Well, I do when it's merited. If something is like children are abused, I take that very seriously, and that saddens me, as you know. You know, I find no excuses for people that do that. But with everyday matters, I do try and look at the light side of things. I think it's important if we can keep an open mind about activism. Takes many forms, and people do it differently, and people have a lot of successes along the way, and hopefully it doesn't impact on their mental health, because, you know, God forbid that doing all this kind of thing and your research would start to affect your mental health. I've not allowed it to do that to me. I suppose I'm quite a canny person. Good English expression, canny. I look at others and I see that they can burn out pretty quickly. You know, they can do it for about 2 years and they can burn out, and then they can't do it again. They don't seem to. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're expecting too much from this. Maybe that's what it is. If you expect too much from your activism, you're going to be disappointed. You know, you're not going to get into the millions of subscribers, you know, like Russell Brand and like others. And even really good ones, like Andrew Gold, who I really like. He's not got into the millions. So it takes someone like a really good YouTuber and a good personality to get into the millions. Not everybody will do it. And of course, I have no aspirations of grandeur. None of that with me. It's about fun. Have fun. If you don't have fun, it'll get to you. And I won't let that get to me. Got a few years before I retire, but I intend to do appropriate videos about my former religion if and when the need arises. I don't want to just invent an excuse, but if there are genuine excuses for making a video and bringing people's attention to some hypocrisies within religion, then I will definitely want to be doing that, for sure. So I hope you like my setup. I was going to ask you a question, that is, as you know, I was born in the Jehovah's Witness religion, so I've never known any other religion but this one, because I've never pursued another religion. Even when I came out of this and I was a fader, I didn't go jumping into other faiths. I just wasn't interested. I just thought, oh, I'll just do without religion in my life from now on, which is what can happen. You know, it makes you like that. But when I was very much involved in it, you know, all through the 70s, when I grew up in Sydney, I was at the Kingdom Hall when brothers were getting ready for the new system in 1975, so I have a much better and vivid recollection of that particular event. I do remember brothers giving up their jobs and going pioneering. Yes, I think we all have heard the stories about people who were absolutely convinced that we'd be in the new system by 1975. Even though the governing body didn't directly say we would be, they did intimate, wouldn't it be interesting, brothers? Because I remember Freddie France, Raymond France's uncle, and he did use that expression, wouldn't it be interesting? I'm not saying it is, brothers, but wouldn't it be interesting? And that was in 1975. And so everybody was hanging on his word and believed what he was saying was right. And that's what can happen if you listen to just men. But I think we're just a lot wiser than what we used to be. And most of us don't tend to listen to just men, but try and delve into the scriptures and find out what is required of us from a spiritual point of view. And I think most of us have grasped that. And I think that's great. I think we've learnt from our mistakes of the past, where we would always want to hold the company of esteemed ones in the congregation if they were circuit overseers. Yeah, it was all the wrong thing to do, because they're just human, they make mistakes, they tire out, and they don't always live up to the expectations that we think they should do. And that's why I really like that scripture where it says, do not put your trust in nobles. I've always liked that scripture. And I don't intend to put my trust in nobles. That's for sure. So, yep. The 70s. So I've got two little presents for you. A mirror ball, which is a 1/2 meter mirror ball, 500 millimeters. And right behind me, giant lava lamp. You can't beat the two. Now, what else from the 70s could I have to add to this video? Can you think of anything that I've missed? And don't say, hashies. I was never one for that. I didn't even smoke. I was just too good a Jehovah's Witness at the time. I just wouldn't, give in to those temptations that were all about where I lived at the time in Sydney. I was too interested in surfing, too interested in skateboarding, not that interested in girls until a bit later on. And that was when I came back to England in 1980. Anyway. Have a good evening, people. I'll be seeing you.